So the process of double fertilization, it actually involves these two gametic cells. Like what we have here is this reproductive structure, the pollen, the male reproductive structure, and the ovule, the female reproductive structure, in which we will see that the generative cells, which will be considered as the sperm nuclei here in this case, is going to go and fertilize this egg cell and the pollen nuclei. So what actually happens is, like the moment the pollen actually falls under the surface, it comes in contact with the surface of the stigma. So that very moment the pollen right there, it actually, as we have learned the previous class, they undergo some interaction with this stigma. So once this interaction gets over, and it's a positive interaction, we may say. So right there from this germ pore, so this is the germ pore. So right from this germ pore, the pollen tube is going to originate. Okay, it's going to emerge out. So this pollen tube is going to go and start penetrating the stigma. So what we are going to find is this pollen tube, which is formed by the vegetative cell, it's going to go start penetrating the entire this stigma, and will flow inside. It just keeps on flowing inside. Okay, so once going inside, the one responsible for all that movement will be the vegetative nuclei, this one. And right behind it, we are going to find that the two this generative cells, which will be considered as the sperm nuclei now. So this sperm nuclei will be like following this particular vegetative cell. Well, this vegetative nuclei will now be considered as a tube nuclei, because here we are seeing the formation of the tube nucleus actually. So here we are seeing the formation of the pollen tube, isn't it? Pollen tube. So that's why this will be considered as the tube nucleus now. So this tube nucleus will keep on penetrating inside inward direction. Now its inward flow or inward movement, it is completely mediated or completely controlled by one feature. So let me draw a brief structure of the pistil again, by which I will be able to show you that, right? So let's say this is the structure of the pistil, right? So there inside it, we are going to find that the ovule is present. Okay, the ovule, this ovule structure is present right inside that. Okay, now what we are going to find is from this ovule, this synergids that are there, they are going to release a certain chemical. All right, it's going to like release a certain chemical. Now this chemical will be of like it's actually like several chemical, like sugars, minerals, all these things together. Like boric acid is also somewhat has been seen to notice to like come out from that area. Magnesium salts are seen to come out from that area. So even high dose of sucrose, yes. So all of those chemicals that are released from there, and the one responsible for the release of those things are this finger like projections known as the filiform apparatus. This filiform apparatus or filiform appendages, some places they are called. So they are the ones secreting all those chemicals. Okay, so once those chemicals are being secreted, what it will do is it will give the pollen tube a direction, because the pollen tube coming out, it's actually wants itself to direct itself, like direct this pollen tube towards a certain like towards this ovule, isn't it? So it doesn't have any other means but chemical signal, you can say, by which it can actually go through that and can just travel following this flow of chemical, because it will check where the chemical is present in higher concentration and will keep on moving that direction slowly, exactly like this way, and will find that it is actually present right there. So that way, that is the entire route that the pollen tube will actually follow. Once it will reach that area, means it will reach this particular this portion, then what will happen here is, let me draw the ovule briefly. Now what will happen here is that the synergid will play its secondary role, and the secondary role is, I think I'll use a finer tip now. Wait, yeah. So the secondary role that actually play here is like the moment this pollen tube is going to come here and will look for a direction to enter inside, it will look for a direction to enter inside. So this filiform apparatus is actually going to like give that direction. Okay, what will happen is the filiform apparatus will now form a tube like structure like this. Okay, the other side the filiform apparatus remains exactly as it is, but this second one, second synergid, its filiform apparatus will slightly change. It will actually form a tube. It will be the entry point for the pollen tube to enter. Alright, so I'll write it PT here as for pollen tube, right? So this pollen tube to enter inside, it will actually, this filiform apparatus will give that particular entry point. It will form that particular channel or tunnel, whatever we call it, right? And once it is there, this tube nuclei will now make way for the two sperm nuclei that was coming behind it to enter inside. Alright, so the two sperm nuclei will enter, one will go and fertilize the egg cell, and the second will go and fertilize the two polar nuclei that was there present in the central cell. The antipodal has got no function there. It will simply remain as it is in the corner. Alright, so one is going and fertilizing the egg cell, the second one is going and fertilizing the polar nuclei. What will happen after that? Well, after that, though it will be discussed in detail later on in another video. So after this, what we are going to find is that this entire structure will actually start changing itself. I'll just give a brief about it here. So the entire structure will start changing itself. The synergy will still hold itself for some time. Okay, the synergy will hold its structure for some time, but it is majorly that this egg has now developed into a zygote. Okay, it has transformed itself into a zygote. So this zygote is actually the one which will develop into the baby, means the sorry I use the word baby, it will develop into the embryo, means of the seed, whereas the polar nuclei will actually like fuse, all of them will fuse together, forming this endospermic nuclei. Okay, and what we are going to observe is the zygote is going to be diploid in nature. This endospermic nuclei will be triploid in nature. Okay, the antipodal will actually start regressing itself, means it will slowly disintegrate. It will begin a process of disintegration, because now this entire ovule is going to transform into the seed. So for that particular reason, this we are going to find that every single of those cells are actually will slowly disintegrate itself. Even the synergies will stay for short and time, then the changes will happen to it also. But this three nuclei, means this three nucleus, which is like one sperm nuclei and two polar nuclei, they are actually going to fuse together, forming the endospermic nuclei, which will become the endosperm. The central cell will become the endosperm, which will be the primary nourishment for the embryo to develop, because the zygote will actually then eventually transform into the embryo. So what we are seeing here is two step of fertilization taking place. One where the egg is fertilized, the second where the polar nuclei are fertilized. So since two step of fertilization is taking place, this process is called a double fertilization. Not only that, this step of fertilization of this like polar nuclei is sometimes called triple fusion step also. For that this actually these two structures, means these two polar nuclei will actually first of all will fertilize itself. Secondly, then the sperm nuclei will actually come and fertilize itself. So that way triple fusion step is taking place right there in this particular moment. Three nuclei are fusing together. So this is the entire step of double fertilization that we are going to see in case of most of the plant, because this is the one that is very common in most of the plant. Okay, now I must say that for this process, yes, two sperm nuclei are required. Well, I did not mention it here, but I guess you remember that all of them are actually of haploid nature, na? All of them, every single one of them are haploid nature. It's actually polar nuclei which is not fused, so it is n plus n nature that we are going to find there. Okay. But at the time of this triple fusion step, it will actually fertilize itself, means it will actually get fused together. Then the third nuclei will come, and means the second sperm nuclei will come and fuse with it. Okay. Now all this step is like very common in case of like majority of the plant. Majority, this is how it enters. The pollen tube will be germinating from through that area, the entire style it will run down through it, then enter the ovule right from this particular region, because it is this one which is actually directing it, and it's a complete chemotropic type of movement, because it is always directed towards the source of that chemical. So that way the pollen tube is actually traveling down to that direction and will be entering through the filiform apparatus only, and then finally it will be able to fertilize, because filiform apparatus gives a direct passage towards the egg cell, because this thing, the egg cell, along with this two synergids, they are considered as the egg apparatus. They are the main egg apparatus section, you can say. So this is the one which will give the direct entry towards the egg, so it will go and fertilize it directly, and the other one will actually travel towards the central body. So that is how the process will actually will occur.